Hi, I'm Antonia Dean, principal at Black Ops VC, and you are tuned in to Rolling Out.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Portia Monique, and I'll be your host today. And joining us today is Antonia Dean, who is the principal at Black Ops VC. Welcome to the show, Antonia.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's begin with the inspiration. How did you become the principal at Black Ops Venture Capital?
Oh, well, I have a bit of a long and winding career to VC, but I will boil it down for you. I had been in a nonprofit and helped that organization raise its first venture fund. And I saw that access to capital is really the thing that keeps smart people with great ideas from either being able to turn those ideas into long running businesses or where those ideas just stay in the idea phase. And that was
Mhm.
the thing that got me really excited about being able to invest capital into great businesses. So I went from doing it in a nonprofit context to doing it in a corporate context and have now been full-time investing with Black Ops for about 2.5 years.
Love it. Thank you for boiling that down so succinctly for us, right? So you worked with iconic brands, though. What lessons from that work do you bring into evaluating the startups today?
Yeah, so I've worked with a number of iconic brands. My very first job was working on Calvin Klein fragrance, also worked on Vera Wang, Michael Kors, and many others. And the one thing that they all have in common, regardless of whether it's a brand name that you've ever heard of or one that is something that your mother, grandmother has been using, is a promise of something that you actually want. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs will have an idea and say, this is a really great thing. I would love this thing, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean the rest of the world will love it. So it's about finding the thing that everyone wants or that a significant number of people want and being able to build a business around that. So when I'm looking at investments, I'm always looking at how big is the potential market for this
Mhm.
solution, and is this a thing people want and are willing to pay for? Because oftentimes people want something better, but they're not willing to spend $1 more or do anything differently to get there. So then the market isn't as big as you think.
Mhm. So Black VC funders, you guys are few and far between, right? So at Black Ops, what are you most passionate about when it comes to backing Black founders?
Yeah, I am really passionate about investing in Black founders because I'm really passionate about investing in businesses that have big markets and where the person who's creating the solution understands and has experienced the problem. And what I find is, in general, that there are very, very big markets that are ignored by the larger players. If you look at, luxury, fashion, beauty, they often target people who make, $100,000 a year or more. But the reality is 61% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency.
Right.
So I really love investing in the companies that are talking to those people because there are actually more of them and they're more primed to want that better solution because often they've been ignored by the bigger players in the market.
Yeah, yeah. And then let's talk about pitching, right? So, what do founders often overlook when they pitch VCs for early stage capital?
Yeah, I will say the things that I'm always looking for when when a founder is pitching me is I'm looking at what is the problem? How big is the problem? How many people are affected by the problem? How much money does this problem cost us each year? Those kinds of metrics that show me how big something is that they're working on. I'm interested in understanding why this founder is well suited to be the person to solve that problem, whether
Hmm.
they have some unique insight, some unique kinds of experience, or another connection point that makes them very, very passionate about it. And then always the question is, why now? If it's been going on all this time, why is now the right time? Is it because now we have AI that is able to do something? Is it because now there is government spending to support something? Is it because now consumers are realizing and they're seeking out this kind of solution? But those are always the three things that I look for, like why this problem, why this founder, and why now.
Great insight. Y'all listening, pay attention. Now, so I also want to know beyond the deck, right? So what do you look for beyond the deck in terms of traits and or mindsets that indicate a founder is worth backing?
Yeah, I will say from a VC context, because especially when you invest early stage, you're making a bet on that founder that they will be able to figure the thing out. It's your first idea is not always your best idea. So the traits and the mindset that I'm looking for are folks who are really, really curious, people who are super self-aware, which means they know what they don't know and they know how to
Mm,
ask for help for it and ask an expert for their opinion rather than being like, I'm going to figure this out all by myself. So those are the things that I'm looking for. And I'm looking for someone who's comfortable in that space, who is
yeah.
comfortable in saying, this is what I know, this is what I don't know, but this is how I'd figure it out. Because if it was easy as one, two, three, everyone would be the founder of $1 billion company. There's a whole
Absolutely.
lot of ambiguity. So I'm looking for someone who's comfortable in ambiguity and who can figure their way towards the solution.
Oh, that's some great insight as well. Yes. So, okay, founders building cultural authenticity, right? How do they do that while scaling globally? How can they build with cultural authenticity while scaling globally?
I think it's whatever kind of company that you're building. If authenticity is something that you want to make sure that you're delivering on, you need to make sure that if not you, your customer is well represented in your company. So if
Mm,
you are building a software for truck drivers, you should have someone who has been a truck driver who works at your company, because they can give you the small things. We all know when someone is trying to relate to us, but they just get it just that last little bit is not right. And you can tell,
mm,
okay, they don't really know what they're talking about. They're not from this space. They don't understand this thing. So if the
mm,
founder doesn't have it themselves, then they should make sure that they are
mhm,
hiring for that they are creating partnerships so that they keep
mhm.
that exposure to what's true for that customer that they're trying to have that authentic connection with. You want to make sure you always have that represented in the way that you build the company.
You are giving dropping some excellent gems. We appreciate you that for that. Now let's talk roadmaps to a billion. So you will be at the conference. Let us know, what do you want your audience to take away from your talk? And also, what advice would you give Black women founders walking into this conference for the first time?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so I'll be speaking at the conference on Friday. My session is specifically The Future is Funded and Female, and we'll be talking about the realities of raising money for companies and what all of that universe of options looks like. And so what I want anyone who's coming to the conference and who hears my talk to walk away with is, we often get in these spaces and we hear the metrics, the doom and gloom, the less than 1% or less than 1/10 of 1%. But sometimes we use that to discourage us. And it doesn't have to. If we look at, less than 2% of doctors are Black women, but Black women are signing up to go to medical school every day. And we
Right.
would never discourage someone who said they wanted to be a doctor. So
Mm,
don't let those numbers discourage you if what you want to do is build a successful, thriving company. Because if
yeah.
you look back at your history, you're already in the less than 1%, regardless of where you are. You've already defied the odds, so you can just keep on defying them.
Keep on defining them. Antonio, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you. How do we get in touch with you, follow your journey, social media wise, otherwise?
Yep. So you can look me up on Instagram or LinkedIn. My Instagram is Antonia Dean, PHL for Philadelphia, which is where I'm from and where I live. And you can look me up on Instagram, just Antonia, or on LinkedIn, just at Antonia Dean. Feel free to follow along our journey as we continue to build Black Ops and invest in really amazing companies.
I love it. What's your website for Black Ops as well?
So our website is blackopsvc.com. That's BLACKOPSVC.com.
We appreciate you so much, Antonia. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, sharing your insight, dropping those gems on us, and letting us know how we can learn more. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.